Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome on in. Made a little mess as I got up here a minute ago. I knocked down my parchment paper. I'll just stick it right there for the moment. Looks like I'm pretty straight today. Yay! All right, let's get us all adjusted here. Oops. Okay, there's that one. So has everybody been having a good day so far? Hey, Tina. I know, let's see, we had some major storms last night and tornado warnings and all that good stuff. And I think we're supposed to be getting some more today. I haven't checked recently, but it sure don't look like it. I was outside with the dogs a little bit ago and it looks clear as can be. All right, I got volume here I don't want. Good. Don't need to hear background. Hi, Sandy. How are you? Thanks for sharing, Tina. Okay, so I haven't done these. Did one just a few minutes ago because I thought I gotta see. Making a terracotta gnome. I thought it was kind of cute. I saw these somewhere and I thought, well, let's try it. So that's what we're gonna do. Now this one I just painted it and did it, but you can do all kinds of things on the top. So I thought, let's give it a whirl. So I did take some different, it's more like fur, but I don't know that I want to do the fur because as you can see doing the fur, it just keeps shedding and shedding and shedding. But we're going to use it, and this might be a little short. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. So, anybody else supposed to be getting storms in that today? I'm thinking, I don't see my, let's do, I'm going to paint this. What color do I want to paint it? Let's do our secret path. I love the secret path. But I thought they were cute. And this one's a little big, so I don't know that you would want to hang it on a tree, but you could if you wanted to. These are a little bit smaller, and this one is a little more narrow, so it's even more pointing like the gnome hat. But definitely, unless you can drill really good, make sure you get them with the holes already in the top. So we're going to go ahead, paint this one first. And like I said, I don't know that I would use the one that looks like the fur again because it's just everywhere. I do need to take these off so I can see. Now these, I got all these different ones at, I believe it was a yard sale. And I like using the little daubers, sponge, whatever. I call them daubers. Because I like the way they cover and the little added texture. And if you don't want to paint them, you can just leave it terracotta because I also like the terracotta color, but so I'm just trying to get around the edge here first really well. I'm doing fine. Are you working on your orders for your cups and spinners? I like the spinners. Not that I don't like cups. I know that's a pretty good lucrative business to have. I started doing some, but haven't done any in a while, so. Haven't done the spinners yet, though. The cups, yes. Spinners, no. I like the spinners. I really like that hummingbird one you did yesterday. That was pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Are you still doing bingos on Friday, Sandy? that hummingbird spinner, I just loved all the colors in that was in it. That was pretty. Making sure comments are coming through. Hi, LaVon. How are you? Bingo's on Friday? Okay. Last Friday, we had all intentions of coming on, but Ken's brother was in town, so it didn't happen. Sorry. How are you, LaVon? Just want to make sure this is really dry before I start to paint the base down here, because knowing me, I'd smudge it, and I don't want to smudge it. I almost picked up one I didn't want to pick up, because we got two other ones over here that we can do. Should do one in red or blue, and do, because I have a belt that I already put on, a checked one, so maybe we'll do it in blue. Do one in blue and do it kind of patriotic, so to speak. Well, it won't be too patriotic. He'll have a gray beard, but that's okay. Now, you don't have to paint the inside, because that's where you're going to put all your gnome hair. Thanks for throwing snowballs. I appreciate it. I need to get some blue out here, and we can do a patriotic one. And I don't know if you all can tell as I'm turning this, but on some of these little, excuse me, clay pots or terracotta pots here, they might have a little chip or something in them, or I don't know if you can tell, there's like a little chip there, and even on the edge, I think that gives them character. Okay. So what you did, I have these needles. They are, I got them, I believe, at Hobby Lobby, Sewology. They're the real long ones. So I got the needles because you want to get some jingle bells. And I got these, and I got bigger ones. But you don't want, to go on the inside. You don't have to put a bell on there if you don't want to. But I am, because it helps to hold your hanger, ribbon, whatever you want to use, to come through the hole here. My hands are not working very good today, y'all. Sorry. When my nerves get going, then my hands start acting funky. And then I just take the needle and pull this through. Makes it so much easier to do that. And once you pull it through, now I pull it down just a tad, because then you're going to take your glue and you're going to put some glue down in there to help hold. And it's going to take a second for it to like harden up, but you want it to hold in there so it doesn't fall down. And I did, because I wanted to see how this worked, but I got some of this fuzzy yarn, like furish yarn. Like I said, I'm not keen on it, because as you touch it, it just keeps coming off and off and off. But since I already have it here, I figure we'll go ahead and use it. And then I'll show you how you do this part. Only we're going to use regular yarn. Dang, can't talk either. What the hey? Okay, that should be stuck. So then you take your glue and just put it all the way around the inside here. And I don't know why it's smoking, but it is. And then after you get your yarn in that, you just stick it in there. And I'm going to let that sit because it takes a couple minutes for it to dry. So while we're making that one dry right there, I'm going to show you, this is what I saw to do. Now I got fuzz all over me. You take it around your fingers and you go about 50 times. Yeah, I'm going to do it around 4 fingers because it's easier for me. Now, if you want to go a little bit more, a little bit less, that's on up to you. Hi, Shyla. Hi, Stephanie. And then cut that off. And you could do this part either before or after, but you're going to need a piece to tie this. Move that up there. And then you kind of wiggle it off your fingers. Put it in the middle. It is easier if you have somebody else that can hold it for you, but you can do it yourself. And then just kind of tie it tight. It's almost like you're making a pom-pom. I always like knot it. Then you're going to go through and cut your loops. Sometimes if they stay all nice and neat together, you can get them all at one time. If they kind of move, you can go in here, like there's 1, 2 on this. You can go back in there. That one fell out. And fix it. Hi, Melissa. How are you? Since those 2 are right there. I don't remember where I saw this. I don't know if it was on Pinterest or YouTube. I don't remember. And then just kind of shake it up. And it's kind of like a little pom-pom, but as you can see, it also sometimes is a little bit shaped already. See a couple I missed. So you can always go back in if you see some you missed. Now I'm going to clip this some. You don't have to, but I'm going to. And I think for this one, we're going to paint it French toil. But this one's, now on this one, I'm afraid to trim it up, but you trim it up as you get it done, however you want it shaped out to be. This one, like I said, using that fur, got really, really fuzzy. And every time I move, more and more, can you see it all just falling off of there? Thought I had these open. I don't know where the other ones went. I had some open. You know what? This is tiny. I think I'm going to use the bigger one. So then you can get like either the little round from like Hobbies, or if you're doing a bigger one. I couldn't find the ones that were like halved, only in a bigger size. And then you want to put some hot glue on here. And you can put your nose wherever you want to put your nose. Hopefully it won't fall off. But there he is there. Now, we can do stuff at the top yet, which we will be doing, because we are going to do a blue one. Let me find, I think this is the one I want. Do I have enough? I don't know if I have enough. We'll see. We might have enough. Oh, you know what we could do? What do you think? Think we should try one with some crackle? We'll try some crackle. I think that might be cool. Let's try one with some crackle on it. And then we already used this color, so I don't want to use that. We can use Weeping Willow. Let's try one with crackle. And I have not done this part before, but I'm just going to put it straight on the terracotta pot and see what happens. Why not? Nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? At least we can at least do the top part crackle and paint the bottom part non-crackle. And then when we put the Weeping Willow on here, we can see how it comes out. Why not? Hi, Judy. How are you? We're making little gnomes out of terracotta pots today. This one, I just put some of the Dixie Belle Crackle on, right on the terracotta top half, because I thought, well, let's try it. What's it going to hurt? Let's see what it's going to do. I probably should have put some up on the very top here, and I did not. I need a new one. Y'all, this fuzzy stuff sticking to me everywhere. Stuck on my finger. I'm going to put some while I'm thinking about it right up on top. Because this is considered his whole cap, so let's get it all covered right. I need to get some more. Almost out of it. I've done it with the glue technique. I've done it with the Mod Podge, but my favorite is the Dixie Belle Crackle. So we're going to dry this, and then we're going to put some paint on here and see how well it works. I've never just done it straight on a surface before without painting first. But I think it would look kind of cool to have some of the terracotta coming through. I'm going to set this on the edge for those that had just jumped on and show you. Here's a big one that I did, and his little nose on there. I think he needs a little trim still right there. And then we just did this one, and you can always decorate the top part. This one I did with like that fur kind of yarn, and I don't like the fur kind of yarn personally because it makes a mess. I mean, you all probably can't see it, but I even have it all over my shirt. I personally don't like it. Too messy. Hi, Miss Ken. Thanks for throwing snowballs, Judy. Hey, Ken. Guess I didn't see him hop on. And then we already did our little, it's like a pom-pom for this one. But then we got another one, and the only yarn that I have is gray today. because the white I have, I think is going to be too thick for this. Because, let me show you. Stay. See how thick that is? I think it's going to be way too thick for that. And I just threw the gray one on the floor. Hi, Devonna. How are you? The edge is just not quite dry yet, so that's what I'm waiting to try to get that dry. And then we'll paint it Weeping Willow. And then the other one, I'm going to have to add a little water to my paint here. We'll do in blue because we'll do like a red, white, and blue theme. Thanks for sprinkling. I appreciate it. Well, it might be dry, so we're going to go for it. Do you see that fuzz from that coming out still? And like I was telling everybody, I like to use the daubers. You can use a paintbrush, no problem, but I like the daubers. And we're going to do dabbing around here on the edges because I like to do the edges kind of first because it's easier to get doing it this way for me. And hopefully just putting it straight on our terracotta pot like this, it'll still crackle nice, I'm hoping. But I like the way when you daub, it leaves that extra kind of texture. Or sometimes when you're painting certain things, you try so hard not to get the brush strokes in there. And I thought for this purpose, it would be nice to just use the daubers because then you don't get any of that. All right, I think I got that all. So has everybody been having a good day so far? I know we were talking about anybody getting more rain. We're supposed to, but I haven't looked to see if that's changed because I was outside with the dogs and it sure don't look like more rain's coming. But then yesterday we got hit pretty good. Toss that over there. Put that off on the side because I can't close it right now. I'm going to go ahead and try to dry it and see. Ooh, it is. It's crackling, y'all. Woo. Whoop, whoop. So we'll have crackle at the top and not crackle at the rim, which is what we were going for. Now you can use whatever you want for like the hanging piece. I've been using like, I had some ribbon and then I had some grunge material on the one that was, what was that color? The Secret Path color, which is kind of like a purplish color. I used a grunge up piece of material. But you can use yarn. You can use whatever you want. Okay, it looks like it's dry. Can y'all see that? Can you see the crackling in there? And it looks pretty good. And we're going to, on some of them at least today, we're going to put something else up on top. I think I got one of those pieces of fuzz in my eyeball. Let's go ahead. We could use this green. Yeah. So I just got, like I was telling everybody before, I just got one of those real long sewing needles over at Hobbies. And because it's got that big eye in there, it makes it easier for somebody who can't see too well to thread something to be able to thread it. Hi, Stephanie. I guess I'm not getting all the, there it is. I must be missing comments. I'm sorry if I missed anybody. I don't know why comments were not coming through. Thanks for throwing snowballs. It just did something else. So I just take it, thread it through the little jingle bell. You can make your end as big or as small as you want. If you're using the thinner you have, the more knots you want to tie to make sure that it stays and doesn't come through the hole. But you tie it, and I'm tying this one at least 12. I think I'm going to do 3 times because it's kind of thin. I'm going to tie it 3 times, and then you don't want this out at the end, or I don't. So then I just bring it down here to the end that I tied, and I'm going to trim this off a little bit. And then again, because this is long, and even with the short one, I just threw my needle, you want to use a needle or something that you can poke it back through this other end. So I just used a needle, stick it in here. Almost lost it. Take it like that. Easier to pull it through. Then get your glue. Get it down in there. And then it's going to be a second because it takes it a minute to dry. So let that one sit there. This one I already pulled through, but we're not going to use that one because this one we're going to make our blue. So while that's drying, I'm going to add a little bit of water to this. And I thought I had a stick out here. Yes, I do. Oh, while I can, let's close this up before I make a mess. Mix this all up. Hi, Ruben. Hi, Peggy. How are you all? Hope you all are having a wonderful day. And we're going to go with, we're going to have enough. I'm going to need to get some more, that's for sure. And you don't have to leave them all solid like this one we crackled up at the top, but you don't have to, you decorate them however you want to. You can make them fancy, not fancy, patriotic, Halloween. I think I'm going to do one for Halloween. I think I'm going to try to make, I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. Haven't totally decided, but I think I want to try to make like a witch. You can make a Santa Claus one. Oh, so Ken is on here. I guess I just missed him. But, you know, when you have a bunch of these terracotta pots laying around, or you see them at yard sales or something, grab them, because there's even another way to do gnomes where you like stack them. Like you start, but you got to draw the face on, and then you stack them smaller going up. Yes, you can use them as, this one is a little bit big. I mean, you could still use it, But then we have this one, and this is the one that I use that fur yarn on, and it's messy. But you can use them, yes, you can use them as ornaments. This one we're going to paint blue, and then we're going to add our red and white checked ribbon, and we're going to, trying to stretch my fingers out so I don't have it dumping on me. We're going to make this one patriotic, because we're going to also decorate it up some. Just going to put the lid on this one, put it over there. Sorry, y'all, I got that. That's the other thing with the fur ribbon. Yes, they're gnomes. And I was just saying, I've seen some where you can get like the larger terracotta pot and then go smaller on the way up and have like his hat and put down his face and that down at the bottom painted. So you're not using yarn or nothing, but you have to paint it on there. You're painting ducks today? Oh, cool. So as soon as I dry this, that one should be done, and we can finish that one up. He's the one this one over here is the one I crackled. So since you're painting ducks, Norma, are you keeping all your ducks in a row today? R. All right, put that over there. Let me get this blue off just in case it ain't totally dry on my hand. Okay, so now you take your glue and you go all the way around the rim in here, because you're going to shove your pom-pom up in here. We're going to be doing some trimming. You're trying? So for those that just jumped on, I think I saw this either on YouTube or Pinterest, I'm not sure which, and they said to do basically when you're wrapping your yarn around your hand, to do it at least 50 times, and then you can trim it up to however you want it to be, you know, the shape you want it to be. He looks a little uneven on this side, but yeah, I'm kind of cutting off a lot because I don't like the way it was looking. And then you can get them, I'm sure you can probably find them maybe even at the Dollar Tree, these little balls. I couldn't find, like I was telling them earlier, I couldn't find the half ones, so I just got the rounded ones in different sizes. The only half ones I could find were the bigger ones. Thanks, Stephanie. And I find that it's easier to put the glue on your little nose than I've seen them where they stick it right on the yarn. I find it easier to do it right on the nose. I mean, instead, yeah. and then you place your nose wherever you want it to be. So let him dry for a second. While we're letting him dry, since we already have this, you take your little bell, and I had these long needles that I got from Hobbies, put my material, whatever I'm using for the hanger, slipped it in through the bell, knotted it, and put the knot down by the bell, just for a recap. And then take your material, get it through the little eye of the needle, or try to in this case, because it's not wanting to work. There we go. And you don't have to pull it all the way in here, because you're just going to stick it through the hole here and pull it back out. And then they say to glue it, but truthfully I don't need to, because it's not going to come through. But just to make sure it sticks and stays, I do. So I just add a little bit of glue in there to help hold it. So let that one sit for a second. So this is our little guy right here with the crackle on the top. Can y'all see the crackle? And what I was thinking, oops, some glue dripped. Made my little I was thinking like maybe on this little dude, we could take a couple little flowers and dress them up on the top here. Hi, Mickey. How are you? I'm going to put a little bit of glue up here and see how these flowers will go. So, I mean, there's endless possibilities for these little gnomes. I mean, you could put something around here. You could use stencils in that, or transfers and put it on there. But there's a little something right there for him. And then with this guy, let's go ahead and do our yarn. I'm going to go ahead and cut a piece off first. And they say, wherever I saw it at, like I said, it was either on Pinterest or YouTube, to do it like 50 times. Hi, Joanne. I think I did a couple extra, but that's okay. Then kind of squeeze it off your hand. And I'm going to still hold on to it just because I want to make sure I get these all tied in a knot. It's a little easier for me. So when I put it down, I feel like I'm struggling a little bit. because you kind of want to get it in the middle the best you can. And yes, for those that have just hopped on, it's like making a pom-pom. Then you go in with your scissors, and you want to cut these loops. And you'll see once you start shaking it if you've missed any or not. And then you can just go back in and get them. Like I can see already that I missed a couple. You threw the whole snowman? Why, thank you. He probably appreciates being his whole body thrown instead of just part of it. I thought there was one there, but I couldn't tell for sure. Oh, I see some more I missed. See, that's the good thing about this is once it starts to open up, you can actually see if you missed any. Okay, I think we got them all. And then just kind of shake it. And I don't need these big long pieces there. I will put him right there. Again, just take your glue all the way around. And make sure you have extra glue sticks out. Hi, Stephanie. If I didn't say hello to you. And then just stick your little pom-pom in there. And it takes a minute for him to dry. So we're going to let him sit there for a minute. In the meantime, while we're waiting for him to dry, since you're going to do some red, white, and blue, I have some red, white, and blue flowers here we'll cut off. And we can either do it all the way around or not all the way around. We'll see. Do I have... These might be too big. These might be too big, but we'll see. We'll cut them off and see. We'll decide. So anybody got any good plans for this weekend? My youngest grandson's birthday is this weekend. And then you just trim them up however you want them trimmed up. I think that looks cute with a little bit of floral there, minus all the fuzzies from the other one. Oops, he's got a long piece. I think they're kind of cute. For those, again, for those that can draw or paint freehand really well, you can do the ones where you use a bigger clay pot at the base and then go up smaller and just paint it. So there's his nose. We'll let that dry for a second. Oh, this might work. That might be too big unless I glue it down. Or we can just do... Where'd my blue one go? Oh no! Red, white. I don't know what happened to my blue one. Maybe I didn't cut it. I thought I did. And we can add some other pieces to it. Your blue flower stayed in the bouquet. It probably did because I couldn't find it. Let's see, not 50 and raining here, so I canceled farmer's market here. Oh, yeah. We're supposed to be getting more, but I don't know if it's changed or not. All right, so I want his nose to be facing me so I can get this correctly. Putting a little bit of glue up here. Upper 90s here. My butt is staying inside the house. Yeah, I heard it's supposed to be more rain today, and then tomorrow it's supposed to be like in the 90s. So we'll see. But I do have to go out my grandson's birthday party. But when I was younger, I didn't mind all the heat. As I've gotten older, no thank you. So you can do that. I could do some around here. Do red, white, and blue around. Just glue it on there. Let's try it. What the heck? You know? No more rain now? Okay. We're going to give it a whirl. Because why not, right? Hold that for a second. 89 tomorrow. Yeah, the last I heard before I got on was we're still supposed to get some rain tonight. And then we were supposed to be in the 90s tomorrow. And I don't know how hot it was supposed to get from there. Just stuck my finger in the glue. Reminds you of a gnome costume? Cool. Yep. Now there, I know I'm kind of weird. If I get overtired, I get cold. Don't ask me why, but it's always been that way. Weird, I'm sure. But Kenny will be like, why are you freezing? I said, it always has. It seems like my body temperature is always dropped when I get tired. 115? No, thank you. Okay, I'm going to need to add just a little piece there because there's a gap and I don't like it. So we could make that a little more white there, and I need a little piece of blue over here. I don't like that little gap. That looks better. Let's got a little gap here. Just stuck my finger in the glue. But see, you can decorate them up however you want. Starting Saturday all through next week, it's going to be in the 90s, and the heat index is going to, yeah, I heard we're supposed to have real high heat indexes too. Thanks, Lisa. And if I don't remember saying hello to you, but hello, Lisa. Thanks for hopping on and joining me. So we're going to take this just to get rid of all the spider webs. But I think they're pretty cute, don't you all? Got a string here. I know they keep spinning around. Aren't they cute? Here's the one that I did with the big fluffy because he was bigger, so I used the fatter yarn. And we can fancy him up. Then we had this one where we did the crackle on and just added a couple flowers to them, but I like the way it crackled up there right up in here is crackle. I don't know if y'all can see that. Can you see that crackle? And then this is the one that was the fur. And it's still shedding. It's cute, don't get me wrong, but if you don't mind all the fuzz and the fluff flying around, use it. And all I did, I got them all at Hobbies. Hobbies had some yarn on clearance. Was it last week or the week before? And it was like $2. Now this was a little bit more, but this is the length, what it looks like. And the only one that they had there at that point was this grayish white color, so that's why I got that one. It's cute, don't get me wrong. I just don't like it because it's like, if you ever been around a husky, you know what I'm talking about. All that tuft of hair flying around, and it gets in your nose and all over you. That's what it reminds me of. Trying to think what else we could put on. What do I have over here that we could put on there? I like our patriotic one. Oh, I know. We could put a little bit of vine on here and add some stuff. That would be cute. Put a little vines on here. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. I'm going to turn this one this way because just don't burn yourself like I have a tendency to do here lately. Thanks, Mickey. I think they're cute too. And they're not that hard to do. The biggest thing I think would be making sure that if you don't just go and get a terracotta pot or whatever pot you're using and not have the hole in, because I wouldn't trust myself trying to drill something, in a terracotta to make a hole. I'd be afraid I would just bust it all the heck. Oh, I do have to show y'all something after we get the vines on here. I did a thing. I was trying the foam. Now I'll show you a couple things that I did the foam in, the can foam. I got the one that the cutest little thing Andrea suggested. I believe it says GE on it, and it's the insulation foam. And she says that she usually gets the one that goes to 1 inch, but they do have one that has 1 to 3. And I know, sometimes the inches matter, but in this case, I think for what I was doing, the 1 inch was perfect. Because I think if I would have gotten the one that went higher, because this is my first time doing it, and I thought, when I started doing it, I'm like, holy crap. Hi, Peggy. Thanks for throwing snowballs. Hi, Karen. And heavy traffic on the way back home from Madison's graduation was beautiful, and supper at the Mandarin afterwards. Have a great evening. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. But yeah, I was doing it for the first time, and I was like, oh my goodness, this stuff is crazy. So I'm trying to hold this and glue it down. He's going to be our little wild gnome. Well, Norma, now there you go. You can make some gnomes. I have some bigger pots, but my hands aren't that steady anymore to try to do like freehand drawing and that on there. one more on the back, but I think that's kind of cute with the vines. Let's get this side covered, and then I'll show you my attempts. You're making 60 cupcakes out of that foam? I don't know, those comments looks like they're slower over here for some reason today. But wait till you see what I did. Because now, I think it was Cheryl said that she saw a can that said, oh, you could save it and use it for another time. I think that's cute. Don't you all think that's cute with the little vines? But from a lot of the people that have done it before, they said, no, you need to use it all then. Well, I could see why, because at the end, even the stuff that was, just kind of trickling out, it was turning all funky in that. So I did. Let me get my glasses and I'll show you what I did. Y'all are going to laugh. I was like, okay. Oh, guess what? I found my other blue. It fell when I moved it. Okay, here we go. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Then take just a minute. I can't bring them all over, but I'll bring you most of it over. So here's my little one. Obviously, I'm going to have to kind of shape it up. Here's my big one. Going to have to shape it up. And then this. And first I thought, okay, I'll tell you what I did. On some of these, I used parchment paper in here so I could pull it out real easy. This one ain't done. It's busting out at the bottom. But I thought maybe I could get that in there so it'd have that on it, but it didn't. But I can reuse this if I want to and put it in something else. Or I could leave it in here and just, sand it down and shape it up. Then I use these, and these work wonderful. So I just need to shape up the bottom because all you have to do is pop them out, and then you just kind of twist it a little, and there you go. So you can use your silicone. Get some silicones. These I got off of Amazon. And when I filled it up, I just filled it up about halfway going around, and it did this. So the bottom you'll have to shape up, but look at the top. Isn't that cool? The top worked good. Oh, please do post. Love to see them. Now, I didn't do any cupcakes, but I thought, I have these. I'm going to give it a whirl. But I like the way it came out. And like I said, it's really pretty easy. You just push it up, do a little twist here and there, and off it comes. So I'll just have to sand all this down and then decorate it up. I was impressed that they came out, but now I didn't try to see if it would come out of this pan, but it doesn't seem like it will. So these will stay in the pan. I can go ahead and paint this up, put a label or whatever on, but sand this to shape it a little more. And even like this, I would have to sand this and shape this a little more. But guess what else I tried? Can you see it? I haven't tried to take this off yet, but I thought, I bet I could do something with this and make it look really cool. Hi, Cheryl. Thanks, Judy. I was just showing them I tried that foam, and this was my best one that I liked. I got the silicone molds, and I put it in about halfway, and look at how they come out. Now you have to fix the bottoms, but the silicone molds are awesome because you just pop it up, give it a little twist, and there it is. And look, this one has 3 different designs. So you got this like a kind of like diamond top, this one, and this one. So I'm excited. I was surprised they came out like this. I was expecting, because I'll be honest, when I first started doing it and put it in there, I'm like, oh my God, this stuff is going to go everywhere super fast. How is it going to fill it out? I was amazed. You did the muffins and the bread. I have not done muffins yet. I do have a little loaf of bread, have to shape it up, and I did do a larger one. And this one actually will come out. That one did not. And the only reason why this one comes out is because I did put parchment paper in the bottom of here. And I did do parchment paper in this right here. But I don't know what that is. It's like a little worm. You know, that's what I was thinking, like a snow cone or something. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to try this because I had these little cups here. So I thought, let's fill it up and see what it's going to work like. But that's, yeah, snow cone or like an ice cream cone or something. I think that would be cool. So if you all haven't tried it, let me tell you, if I can do it, I know you all can do it. But when I first started doing it, I'm like, holy, this stuff comes out and it's going everywhere. I felt like it came out of the can too fast at first. And I thought, okay, just kind of, move your can with it and just go. Thanks, Cheryl. So, yeah, I have a couple of these. I have a couple of the small breads because everybody has told me once you start with the can, make sure you got whatever you're going to fill up there to fill up. So I did. Let me show you one other thing and then I'll let y'all go. Not so sure how well these all turned out, but y'all can be. This was supposed to be a small French bread loaf out of cinnamon dough. These are flat donuts. Let's see what else I have. Well, that's like a flat biscuit. But, I mean, they're kind of more looking like smushed donuts or flat bagels to me. This one looks probably a little more like a French bread loaf. I think out of all of them, I like this one the best. So I still need to practice a little more with salt dough. I almost said sugar dough. But I made a couple of these, but I think I need to practice more on those. This one was my favorite. These aren't horrible, but they're not a real thick donut. So that's what I have for y'all today. But I thought I'd share, since I did this earlier this morning and it doesn't take it long to dry, just if y'all are curious, it didn't take long for it to dry at all. The only one that still has a little bit of a wet spot on it is this one, and it exploded on the bottom for some reason. But I was trying to see if I could get the pattern on here, and it just didn't do it so I'll have to practice on that. Any left, just make piles for the florals. That's what I do. Any left of the foam, or is that what you're saying, Steph? That's what I was afraid of, Cheryl, because when I first did it, it was like, it went, and I'm like, and this is still supposed to expand more? I'm like, holy crow. These are my favorites, the silicone molds, because they come out, and they came out with the whole decorative part. Yeah, I haven't done the muffins yet. I had some little tiny ones, but I couldn't find them fast. I thought, well, I had all this, and I thought, well, shoot, I still have more to go, and I couldn't find the pan. So I didn't want to go running around, so I just grabbed some cups. But yeah, I think that would be cool. Like, was it Steph that you? No, it was Mickey said make like a snow cone or something out of it. You did that with cupcakes too? Yes, the foam. Okay, that's what I was thinking you were talking about, but I wanted to make sure. Well, this is my projects for today. This was my first gnome, and like I said, I used a thicker, probably about the size of my index finger yarn for this one. So to me, if you go bigger and you want to do it, but you're not using them to hang for ornaments or anything, you want wider if you go bigger terracotta pot. This is the one that was the fuzzy fur like, and I like it. It's just know that when you do it, you're going to have it flying all over the place. And then this one we crackled up at the top, if y'all can see that. And then you shape it however you want to and decorate it however you want to. You could put patterns up here if you wanted to. And here's our patriotic dude. And I got some coming off. But I appreciate each and every one of you hopping on. Y'all make my day. You do not know how much you make my day sometimes, but you do. I appreciate you all on here, and I love coming on here and talking and chit-chatting with you. That's true, too. That's a good idea there, too, Cheryl. I didn't think about the milkshakes. I was thinking, like, okay, I could pull it off and maybe use some of it like ice cream, like little parts around ice cream or something. But I like the snow cone and I like the milkshake too. That's now I want to sing that song about milkshake. You did the cupcakes. Now I gotta try the cupcakes. Thanks, Levon. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate y'all. I want our hearts back, but they won't give them to me. So here's my hearts to ya. Y'all have a good rest of the week. You can grab candlesticks too and spray the foam on top for florals. Oh, cool. I need more classes on everything you can do with foam. Anyway, have a good one. Hopefully nobody's getting any more storms. If you are, please be safe and be careful. I'm going to be honest, I'm not 100% sure if I'll be on doing a project tomorrow. I may be on live showing you something tomorrow. There's a couple things that I might be doing tomorrow. My daughter is off, and a couple of the kids are going to the aquarium, so I might be going to the aquarium with her. It's also my youngest grandson's birthday weekend, so you may be seeing me pop on and off and all that good stuff. But I will be doing the drawing either Saturday or Sunday for Happy Mail. And yes, everybody else's Happy Mail is going out this weekend. In the meantime, have a good one, all. Thank you. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Bye. Good night, everyone.